Alrighty boys, welcome back to the channel. My name is King Lion, and today I got a special video for you guys. This video is going to be about plugins. It finally released today, so you know I had to make the video for y'all. Shout out to the HDOS team. You guys have put in a lot of work, and I can't wait to show you guys what they've done. Alright, so to begin to access your plugins, you're going to want to go to your settings. You're going to want to go to all settings. First off, plugin settings can be quickly accessed by double tapping the shift key. Overlays can be moved and resized by holding down the alt key. Overlays can be dragged and dropped to and from the sidebar. So to start us off, we're going to be enabling the plugins so that way we can utilize them. Alright, so once you enable the plugins, you'll be adding in this overlay itself. So this is where all your plugins will be stored so you can see them where they are at all times. Now, if you do not like the sidebar, you can minimize it by pressing this little icon right here in the middle. But if you do want to open it, so that way you can see your plugins, just click on that little icon again and it'll pop right up. Alright, so the first plugin is Overlay and Adjustment Requires Key. When enabled, moving and resizing overlays requires holding down the Alt key. If you want to move an overlay around, all you have to do is just click on this. You have to click on Alt and move it around like so. Second plugin, you have the click through overlays option. When enabled, you can click through overlays, just as it describes. Transparent sidebar, when enabled, resizing mode makes the sidebar transparent. Now I personally use this one. I usually have this one on because I like to see what's going on behind this rather than it cut off a part of the screen. Fourth plugin, you can click through the transparent sidebar. When enabled, if you have a transparent sidebar, you can click through it. You can click on it like so. It'll allow you to move around in the background behind. Okay, next plugin. This is Agility. Agility shortcuts and obstacles will be highlighted, which is a fan favorite and I always have this on. This is so useful and so nice when you're training agility, going from level 1 to 99. That takes forever, and that quality of life feature makes a very big difference. Next plugin is Antidrag, prevents accidental dragging of items into your inventory for a specified delayed time. Now, I don't typically keep this one enabled unless I'm doing something very specific. Now, you can do require shift key or disable anti-drag control key. I personally don't keep it on because when I'm doing bossing, it typically messes me up. So, that one's up to you. Alright, the next one is going to be boost information. Info boxes will appear on screen showing stat, buff, and debuffs. Now you can turn this one on. I typically do. I have both of them turned on just because I want to be able to see if my prayer is being drained, if my skill is being drained, or how much longer I have on my potion. Boost stat threshold, I usually keep that to about 5k. I usually keep this one checked on, display relative boost. And then I also check on boost threshold notifications, so that way I get notified if something's running out. Debuff timer, I always do always. Buff timer boosted. Alright, next plugin is more of a content developer plugin. Now you can utilize this if you so choose to. I typically do. 1, I make videos. 2, it's very useful. Next up is going to be the clue scroll helper. Overlay and mini-map markers will allow you to complete your clue scroll. I keep this one checked on because you may as well. Hint, arrows will be displayed to assist in completing your clue scroll like so. It's very useful, very nice, and a great quality of life if you like to do clue scrolls. Is door kicker? Personally one of my favorites. Your character will take their anger out on the doors in various ways. I love this plugin. I always keep it turned on. It is hilarious. You can change the dominance level, how much anger you'll take out on the opening of the doors. I'm so happy that they added this plugin in. A friend did a video on HDOS not too long ago and was like, I really wish this plugin would be in there. And what do you know? It's in there. I love that they added it. Kudos, guys. But me, I usually turn this to random just to keep it mixed up. Okay, next plugin is Entity Hider. Configure which entities are visible on your screen. I usually keep this one off unless I'm doing something very specific with content developing. As you can see in here, hide self, hide players, hide NPCs, hide graphics, and hide interface. So this is more for developers or content creators. Okay, next one is FPS debug. This displays the client current FPS and debug information. As you can see, it shows what your FPS is. The max is 500, so if you're hitting 500, you're getting the max amount of frames per second that you can possibly get. Next plugin is green screen. Everything except your player will be replaced with a green screen of your color choice. This is mainly used by content creators, so this is another one for the content creators. Next up is ground items. Items will be highlighted with their value displayed, including the ability to show high value items with colored loot beams. Now this one they spent a really long amount of time on getting this one right. So they copied a little bit of OSRS loot beams and RS3 loot beams, which they will be on screen now. Me personally, I think they did a phenomenal job on them. They look really good and really clean. Now as far as the settings go, I keep most of these settings the same. The only one that I really change is item price display, and I changed it to grand exchange unless you want to have it on both. This just gives you a better idea of a ground item and what the actual value is worth. Okay, next up is loot tracker. Loot received from monsters or minigames will be tracked. I keep that one ticked on. So that will show you the value type. When enabled, the loot tracker will show you the price next to the total values of the item. I set the price item type to grand exchange. NPC loot will be on there. PvP loot. I keep all of these checkmarked personally. Next up is menu entry swapper. Menu options can be customized for item, NPCs, objects, and interfaces. I keep this one like normal just because it makes it a lot easier. Now there's so many settings that can go on inside of here. You can customize it however you like, but I typically keep them the same. Usually they are just fine. The next plugin is player indicators. Local players will be marked overhead and /or on the minimap. Now you can adjust this however you like, friends, clan members, and change the colors of how they look on your game. Puzzle solver, may as well keep that one checked on no matter what. Players have the assistance of arrows on puzzle interfaces to help them complete them. It does just as it says. Next plugin is Quest Helper. Now this one's a gimmick. I feel like they were trolling us on this one. I'm sure it will be added in the future, but this is more of a troll, at least in my opinion, and I think it's hilarious. So you have the option to click the Open Quest Wiki that takes you right to the wiki page to do all the quests. Next plugin is Skybox. The sky and the lighting will better match the environment of the player it is in. I keep this one checked. There's a ton of options that you can choose in here from. Sun color, you can change the integrity of this like so. Or if you like to keep it white, you can do so as well. Fog color, I keep all of these the same. Fog depth, I keep this to 50. Next plugin is SlowMo. This is completely optional. Now once you click inside of there, for the maximum effect, the client target FPS is set to 100 while SlowMo is enabled. You can optionally choose these. You can turn it up 50%, 75%, or 100%, depending on which one you want to do. It'll make you even slower. Use wisely. Tile indicator, tiles that hover over or walk to the highlighted zone. You can keep this one enabled. I typically do. I keep these the same. You can adjust them. And transmog allows you to take the appearance of any player and NPC. An option will be displayed on players and NPCs to override your appearance with others. So there's a ton of things that you can go with this. It's really fun, really cool, and really gimmicky. Now, be warned, this may cause glitches and or crash the client if it is used excessively or rapidly. Now you can do some stuff such as this. When enabled, take a look at an option will be added to players, which will allow you to take their current look so you can copy their stuff, kind of like morphing. Alrighty boys, well that's about gonna do it for this episode. I can't believe plugins are finally here. It took a little while, but they perfected it and it looks really good. So make sure to go check them out, guys. That's about gonna do it for this episode. Make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so that way you get notified when I post new videos, which is every single week. But for now, as always, happy scaping and ciao.